and Dwayne Wade right at the body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao.
Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Let's talk the Pacers going forward and the Heat going forward. Heat are probably going to win this series.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably say 5, maybe a sweep.
I'd say in 4.
You say sweep?
The Pacers are trying damn hard, but it just like they just keep letting the Heat go on a run. And then, something happens and then the Heat go on a 20-point run, and at that point it doesn't really matter what they do.
I mean, the Pacers don't have their man Sabonis.
They missing Sabonis. They missing
They
Sabonis.
They really missing him.
They missing Sabonis. I think Oladipo's hurt too.
Oladipo's hurt, but he's still playing.
Yeah, he's hobbled. I think,
but he's not. He's not playing at a good level. Like he has to play at least like limited.
But he hasn't played at a good level all year, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like they're playing a better team right now. I don't know if there's anything they could do. The Heat are a better team than them, so I think it might be clipped.
I don't know how y'all think the Malcolm Brogdon like
you Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner for Joel Embiid, would you do it?
You said Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner?
Yep, for Joel Embiid.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
Mm.
If I'm the Sixers, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I think that's the type of move the Pacers should make if they can.
Well, yeah, of course. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Man, Sabonis and Embiid.
That would be a throwback. That would be an absolute throwback.
Yeah.
You'd have two post-dominant players who can kind of shoot, but not really.
Yeah.
It'd be, and then you have like Brogdon.
It'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'd love it. Brogdon, T.J. Warren, all on a team with Embiid and Sabonis.
Speaking of T.J. Warren, I've never seen somebody cool down as much as he has.
He's still dropping like 20 a game.
He dropped 14 last game.
Yeah, and 22 the game before.
And 22 the game now.
What game now? Isn't there game over?
The game's over. The first game. My fault. That's all I'm referring to. But yeah,
he scored only 14 this game.
I mean, look, he's still a good scorer.
Yeah, I know. It was just
your primary focus.
I just needed people to slow down the brakes, acting like he was some kind of star or something.
I still think he's better than Kuz, but.
Well, Patrick, you didn't say nothing. I guess he's better than Kuz.
All right.
I'm not gonna say nothing to Tilo. Whenever he mentions the Lakers, he doesn't get a response from me.
Patrick, if we're talking Lakers, I want to bring up a big name, or two big names. We got Melo, and we got Gary Trent Jr. The GOAT.
What did Gary Trent do?
He made threes, and he played great defense on LeBron. Why do you think LeBron only had 25?
Yes. He's the reason LeBron scored over 25.
I mean, playoff LeBron is supposed to be dropping like 30 a game.
It's only been one game, Tilo. It's only been one game.
And it's been one very disappointing game, so.
Mm-hmm. There's no need to draw conclusions from just one game.
All right. Well, if we can't draw conclusions from one game, we'll come back to the conversation of Lakers Blazers, all right? But let's start by moving to the West. Do the Mavs have an actual shot to upset the Clippers?
No, but they can take it to 6 or 7.
Explain why they can make it to 6 or 7 but can't win the series.
Because I feel like Luka's gonna. I feel like at the end of the day, the Clippers do have Kawhi and Paul George, and Luka's second in command isn't really that. He's not. Porzingis is nice, but he's not. I don't know if he could keep up because he's been shooting like crazy. He's been a marksman, and that's really his only thing. So I don't know if they get to a game 6 or a game 7, and it's in those final minutes. I don't know if you could rely on anybody but Luka to create a play, while the Clippers have Paul George, Kawhi, and like Lou Will to in those final minutes they could make something happen. So I feel like that's the only reason why Clippers will win. But I feel like they're gonna struggle, the Clippers, to beat them.
I don't think there's a single easy first round matchup outside of the Raptors going up against, the Nets, or maybe even, the Bucks having the Magic. But outside of that, everything is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs won, though. I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't think they will.
I think the most interesting playoff scenario is if both the Lakers and the Clippers lose in the first round. Because at that point, we just got to rethink everything about who's a contender.
Well, we know definitely someone's not gonna be happy about it.
We do indeed. Yeah, let's talk Clippers a little bit. Why is it that we're still waiting on the Clippers even though the playoffs started?
As they said on Twitter, pandemic P. That's one
Yeah,
of our main.
George.
That's one of our main.
Paul George is I don't know what Paul George is, but I feel like that's the reason why nobody really considers him one of the best players of all time.
He hasn't been good in the playoffs since 2014.
Yeah.
But
so I feel like
2013 and 2014, he was incredible in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't know what's happened since then. I feel like you can't even when you talk about Paul George all the time, you can't even put him in a category with Tracy McGrady. Somebody like that.
Well, that's borderline Hall of Famer category.
Yeah, but I feel like Paul George should have been easily that level. The level of people like Tracy McGrady or Vince Carter, people like that. But I don't feel like he's on their level.
We don't disrespect Vince Carter here. I want to make that clear.
I'm not disrespecting him. I'm just saying that I figured with Paul George's talent that he would be at the end of his career, people would be easily saying that oh, he's on their level. But I feel like he's below them.
Wait, he's below them?
Yeah.
I think he's at their level at the very least. And that's being low on Paul George.
I don't think Paul George is.
The thing that this is just showing me is there is no reason why Kawhi should have left that team.
Toronto, yep.
There's no reason why Kawhi should have left. I was talking to you about this yesterday, but just looking at it top to bottom, Pascal Siakam is in the same conversation as Paul George. You can take whoever you want in that conversation, whatever. I mean, Marc Gasol is at the same level, if not better than Zubats. Then you have, I would rather have Kyle Lowry than Lou Williams. I would rather have Fred VanVleet than Patrick Beverley. I would rather have, Serge Ibaka I wouldn't rather have than Montrezl Harrell, but it's kind of close for me. Mm-hmm. And then you have Shamet and Matt Miller, who are similar players in that they're both 3-point specialists, even if they're not at the same level. And then who else is there to account for? You got to account for Terrence Davis, Norman Powell versus,
Rodney McGruder or Terrence Mann, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it's not really a conversation. I would have stayed in Toronto. You have a better, if not same level team there. You have a city that's built around whatever you want, whatever you need. And you have a city that has much more potential for improvement. With the Clippers, this is as good as it gets. Who on that team can improve? Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey, Rodney McGruder, sure, but those are are we expecting them to become rotation players? And then it's Landry Shamet. Are we expecting them to become a starter now? with the Raptors, it's really, can Pascal Siakam become a superstar? Can Norman Powell become an actual star? Can Terrence Davis become a great starter? Like, and we have replacement plans for the players that that are veterans and going down. Like, we have replacement plans for Serge Ibaka in OG Anunoby or whatever. But I cannot believe that Kawhi Leonard would go back to the lesser team in Los Angeles just for a few more home cooked meals. Like, I cannot believe he would do that.
I think despite what people believe about Kawhi, he really like pays attention to his legacy. And I feel like he didn't think that Toronto was like the place he wanted to be. Like, he was thinking about LA and the bright lights. And he probably
I
wants
guess
to
it's like being back at home playing, in front of his.
yeah, he probably
his
was
home.
thinking about, because he is from California.
Yeah.
So
I'm going back to Kelly.
yeah. So I feel like he was actually paying attention to this whole storyline shit. The LA teams fighting each other.
But I mean, it only really works out if he wins.
I mean, that comes with the territory.
Yeah, but I mean, even if it's not going to, even if it's not staying in Toronto, the Clippers would have been better off if they didn't trade for Paul George. Like, I think Shea Gilgeous SGA is already like nearing the level of Paul George.
Well, people were already saying that the Clippers lost that trade
Yeah.
for Paul George. So it is what it is, though. They saw Paul
Pretty
George's
heavy
name and they
loss
were
too.
like, "Let's get him."
Yeah, and I mean, the trade for Marcus Morris also doesn't make sense for them.
Yeah, that was stupid to me. That was retarded.
I didn't think I'd be saying this, but like, the
Because Morris,
Knicks
I knew
finessed a
Morris
trade.
would, yeah. Because
The
they
Knicks
did
took
what they
$8 million
perfectly
in cap and
executed
got a
that.
first-round pick back.
Yeah, they let Morris take over. They let him do his thing and make him appear like a good player, so that
I think
a
he's a good
contender
player.
would
He's
want
just
him.
not a great player, and that's
He's
how they
not
got
what he.
him.
Yeah, but he's not a 19 points per game scorer. That's not what he is.
He's an
Like he
efficient
was.
12 to 15.
And he was doing more at that point at the Knicks. So
Yeah,
we did our job.
like, but he's inconsistent. He's not defended the bigger power forwards.
Yeah. I mean, the
So
team that really needed Morris was like a team that needs instant offense and a spacer on the outside. I thought, Portland should have gone after him. I did not think the
yeah, Portland could
Clippers
have used
should
him.
go after him.
Clippers had enough wings.
Clippers had
So
more than enough wings because, I mean,
yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Amir Coffey out of Minnesota. Terrence Mann and Rodney Magruder, one of whom is out of FSU, like, they were coming along too. So
yeah.
why did
Morris doesn't really fit. Like, honestly, I don't even know if he's going to get minutes. If the Clippers play the Lakers, I don't know if they can even like put him out there.
the only
I
way
mean,
they
they're
can
gonna
put him
have
out
to.
there is if they're like
Then,
they're
but
hitting
he's
from
gonna
three.
if they put him out there, he's gonna be guarding Anthony Davis, and that's a horrible matchup.
I mean, who else are you gonna have out there to play?
I think they brought him in so they could do a discount like Houston Rockets micro
Yeah.
ball. So they could have like, I don't know, for example, Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Marcus Morris.
Mm.